Action.
Alright, so now recording, and now I'm starting streaming. One moment. So I make sure I have this on my own side so that it doesn't show up. Boom.
All right, start both.
What's your password on this?
5359. You good? All right, hello everybody. We're on live. We're just gonna let the streams catch up. Happy Sunday to everybody. Got up super motivated today to come and help you guys navigate all this craziness. So today I want to help you guys out with questions about your business, questions about the SBA stimulus, questions about some of the stuff that we're doing. So this is something that I wanted to do because there's a lot of people that are going through the same issues right now, all over the world. We have thousands and thousands of customers all over the world with our equipment and our products. In a lot of places, people aren't allowed to work. In a lot of, most shops' revenues were killed overnight, went down to zero or close to zero. So I wanted to make sure if my mission is to build a community of entrepreneurs and creators that are, winning and dominating, then I have to do whatever I can to make sure that I'm helping everybody out there possible. So I'm taking your questions today by text, and then and also whatever platform that we're streaming on. Just type in your text there. Sergio is gonna give them to me. But the phone number is 949-260-0759. And again, I'm gonna repeat that: 949.
264.
Oh, 264-0759. See, that's why I need Sergio, because then you're gonna be texting somebody else. So again, 949-264-0759.
It's above right now.
Yeah, and it's above right there. Who's calling you, Sergio? Don't you know it's all hands on deck? Make sure that you guys text in your questions. I'm seeing them right here, and I'm getting a lot of people reach out and say thank you, and because a lot of the stuff we're also navigating. We're navigating a ton of this stuff right now, and I figured why not connect with you guys and then share what we're gonna do. And what we've been doing. So some of the things I want to cover today. A lot of you entrepreneurs, business owners. Everybody's heard that there's a stimulus package that came out, and I want to kind of share with you guys, what to do, what to have ready, what we've been doing, and a lot of these things that I'm sharing with you guys. All the time I want to do stuff that we're doing, that I've done, that I know about. It's not fluff that I'm reading. It's fluff that we're seeing everywhere. It's actually actionable stuff that we're doing and have been done. So make sure that any accounting stuff that you call your CPA. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a lawyer. Any of that stuff, but I am a business owner with a lot of employees that is navigating this day to day. But what I do have you know, our financial controller, which is, her name is Jasmine, she's here on the stream, and basically she's been working super hard, a lot of hours to navigate all the financial stuff, SBA stuff, banking stuff, all that stuff related to this. So if you have banking, financial questions, we have somebody qualified that's doing this. She's been doing this for us for many, many years, and can navigate a lot of your questions when it comes to the finance side. So which are the issues we're seeing? We're seeing that incomes for everybody have become, zero. We're having issues being able to keep staff on board, and the worst of it all is you don't know when things are going to end. So I want to walk you through some stuff. Send me your questions, and then we'll help you out from there. So first off, some of the things that in our situation is that we've also seen the same things that you're seeing. We've seen a 40% decline in our business overnight. Expected to keep growing. Some of the hardest decisions that I'm having to make, I've been making them in the past couple of weeks. And so the first thing to do is, Jasmine, if you want to kind of chime in, this is the thing. I want to make sure that when it comes to this SBA relief, what are the main things that I want to cover? Number one, there's a disaster relief, how to apply for it, what to do, what to have ready, and then the latest thing, which is the forgivable loans that you can use for your employees. So Jasmine, if you could introduce yourself and then kind of go through on the first point is what somebody needs to have ready immediately for the SBA disaster relief application, and then also how to make sure that you get in line right away. So go ahead, Jasmine.
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Jasmine. I've been with Omniprint for over 7 years at this point. I've done some customer service work for the company, and then I immediately fell in love with the accounting side. So many of you have already spoken to me on the phone in the past. I did get a degree in accounting, and I've been doing this for a few years, as Victor said. We're all experiencing a lot of challenges right now, and the most important thing to keep in mind is that you really have to focus on the basics before you dive into the weeds with all of these loans. So what we're seeing right now with the SBA loan is that they do want you to show effort that you're reducing your expenses before you're applying for this loan. So it's really important for you to take this opportunity to look at the financials of your company, look at your expenses, look at your revenue. Also, right now, it's a really good time for you to see where the opportunities are in your company for revenue. Are there projects that are on the back burner that you could make happen at a low cost to target the current buyer? So that all kind of goes back to your profit and loss statement. You want to make sure that you're setting up your accounts properly so that it's easy for management to make big choices. So for you, if you're in the garment decorating industry, set up your revenue by decorating tie or something that makes sense to you, and then set up your expenses by decorating tie. So then you can see which areas you might be able to cut in. And it's really important when you're doing these cuts that you're not cutting the core of the business that's going to be essential in your future. So if you're really known for excellent customer service, then how do you maintain that level of customer service even after the cuts? So it's really important for you to make smart, logical choices right now. As emotional as this time is, it's really important to go based off of the numbers and what's really going to benefit your company the most immediately.
So what can somebody do, Jasmine? For example, obviously, one of the main things that I wanted to hit home is that every single business owner right now in the U.S. is lining up for these loans. So what is the fastest way to get your application in? Uh, and what do you need to do immediately to get it in that line?
Yeah, so luckily, just this last week, they reduced the requirements of the paperwork for the disaster loan. So you only need two things to get in line and to apply. The first one is the SBA Form 5. This is just one form. It's a couple of pages. It's just basic information about your business. It's going to ask you a few questions. So that one's a pretty basic form. And then the other one is your 4506T. And this one, it's just letting the SBA access your past tax transcripts. So you're just giving them permission to do that, to look at your past taxes, to verify income.
Yeah.
So you want to fill those out for any of the partners of the business, in addition to the business, under the business's tax ID, and the owner's individual tax ID. So
right.
You have a couple of forms on it's the same form, but you might have a couple of them depending on how many owners you have in the company.
Yeah, so basically, before, I don't know if you guys have gone through an SBA process, but it's, the most gruesome process that you can go through for a loan. And what they're doing is they changed it so you can get in line and apply. So needing just two things, you need to make sure that you can hop on that right away. So they basically want to know, number one, who you are, and all the information about you and who the owners are, and they want to go ahead and pull your past taxes, so that you can get in line. Right before, you had to create the entire package, and then submit. Then you get in line, right? So they're allowing you to get in line now. Secondly, the main things that you have to do now, especially getting these two things done and getting in line, is that you have to make sure that you're in contact with somebody that can help you submit these things properly. So, and I want to caution one thing. I've seen a lot of scams online starting to pop up, and you have to be super careful. People charging you to submit government loans, and all of the myriad of types of scams that you can see out there. So just be super careful. The best way that you can start is make sure that you contact your Chamber of Commerce and you contact your local SBA office, and they will, they're inundated, but they're going to point you in the right direction on what to do, what kind of advice, so that you know that you're getting the proper advice. Also, if you have a CPA, your accountant, your tax preparer, they can help you. A trusted CPA also. They're helping people submit the loan. So just be careful with the scammy stuff, and that's going to be super important, because now that's the first step. The second step is you need to make sure that you're ready and you're working super hard to get all of the documents ready that they need. So if Jasmine, you can go through the main the main documents that everybody's going to need to provide, and making sure that you have those ready.
Yes, and I want to touch a little bit on what you were saying about getting help and everything to prepare.
Yeah.
A lot of these forms, they are pretty straightforward. If you are organized and you print everything out, there's a checklist that they provide. Literally what I did, I went line item by line item, checked it off. So if you're really organized and you have all of this information about your business, it's a pretty straightforward process. So it's really important, like Victor said, not to get roped in. Just because someone's going to make it easier, they're going to take your money, and it's work you could have done. But it's also based on what's best for your business and what you really need. So also, we understand that you might need that assistance, but just be careful with the types of assistance that are out there, because they might be a little bit shady, like Victor said.
Yeah,
So
and those shady ones, you don't know what their background is, and they charge a ton of money up front. So they're gonna try to railroad you in. You pay up front because they're feeding on fear, right? So be super careful with that.
Yeah, and another thing to note too is that these people, they don't have to be licensed. They don't have to have any sort of educational background on any of this in order to make money off of helping people with these documents. So it's not like they went through any sort of rigorous program or did anything that you couldn't potentially do. So it's really, you're paying for someone to help you fill in the form. You're not really paying for expertise necessarily at the time.
Exactly.
So in
Go ahead, Jasmine.
Okay, yeah, so in order to start, so the first step you want to do is make sure that you submit those two forms. I have the email address that you send them to. So again, it's the SBA Form 5 and the 4506T as in Tom. And then you want to fill these out and you email them to disaster customer service at sba.gov. So that is your first step for this particular loan. After that, they're going to tell you what they need. So what it seems like is that the requirements are changing pretty frequently. So it's better off to just be prepared and have everything ready so that when they ask for it, you just submit it and you're further along in the line than everybody else. So the other documents that you're going to need, it's a couple of different ones. So you're going to need your schedule of liabilities. They want to know who you owe money to and also what money is available for you to receive. They want to know if you have payables and receivables that you can go after first. What they're really interested in seeing is that the money that they're going to give you is going to help you survive during this time so that once you get out of it, you're thriving. So it's really, they're going to be really choosy about who they're giving this money to. So if they're seeing that you were already in decline for months at a time, they might not necessarily help you. They want to see that this aid is going to help them continue to stimulate the economy.
Yeah, because all in all, so the SBA is doing a loan, right? So in the SBA loan process, they wanna see, I want to simplify it a little bit because Jasmine can get really technical, and I want to go to make sure that you guys get the main thing is they want to see that number one, your business was doing fine, and then you did get affected by this, and number two, it's more important, is that you have to have a plan to spring back. They want to see that if they're giving you that loan, that you're going to spring back and that you're going to get your business back and you're going to be able to pay that loan, because all in all, the disaster relief is a loan. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that one.
Yes. And then the other thing that they're going to want from you are going to be your financial statements from the previous year, so likely 2019. So just make sure that you have your profit and loss in your balance sheet ready to be presented to the government agency. Again, the sooner you have all those documents ready, the quicker the process will move along for you. So this is really the time for you to make sure that you have all of that organized.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing, this is the thing. We're doing this. We're navigating this. That's why we wanted to share, and we make sure that we're sticking together and making sure that what's out there that could help you. So the main thing about this SBA is get it submitted, and then make sure that you're working tirelessly to have all of your financial documents in a row, and all prepared and ready to submit, right? Everything about the owners, everything about the business, because that's going to be super important for you to have them ready, because creating some of these, if you haven't, sometimes takes weeks or months. So you have to compress time now and get stuff done in the shortest period amount of time that you have ever done. I've been telling everybody here, it's like a day is almost worth a month of what's going on right now, and that's just how things are going. and we in this stimulus bill, it's like over 800 pages, and this is the thing. If you go through it, we're telling you stuff that we're doing and that we're gonna go through, so that we're not just telling you. I mean, you could read the bill yourself, but the main thing is how you get stuff going right away. Um, the next part is I wanted to discuss, Jasmine, if you could give them kind of the main like documents that are hard to compile, and they should work hard to get done, that the SBA is going to require when you submit the whole thing.
Okay, so I think the most challenging one might be the schedule of liabilities is one of them. You have to know who you owe money to, line item by line item. This also includes your vendors. So if you have multiple loans out there that maybe you haven't necessarily been paying attention because they're just on auto withdrawal, then you're gonna have to go look for all those statements and make sure that you have that information. It's gonna ask you for the original balance of the loans, the current balance, and the maturity date. Sometimes they'll ask you for the interest rates as well. They want to know who else you owe money to, so that they know how likely they are to get their money back. The other one that is actually a little bit difficult is that initial SBA Form 5. It's just a little convoluted, so there's a couple of areas that you might need assistance on. It asks a lot of questions about the owner's history and things like that. So that one could take a little bit of time.
Yeah. So like the actual information gathering phase of where have you been in the last few years? You have to have it done. What the owner looks like, what the business looks like, all of that stuff. Make sure that you have that ready, and some like we'll post the links that we have in the comments, or maybe send it out and blast. People are asking for where they can get the forms. Jasmine, what's the best place to get the forms?
Well, if you go to sba.gov, on the homepage there, the very first thing you're going to see is COVID-19 small business guidance and resources. So that's a great place to go. We also have the documents here that we can send out to people, but the sba.gov website is a great resource.
Yeah.
It really has all the up-to-date information and news. So they're going to post here before the banks get the news. So they post it here first, and then they let the banks know, and then the banks obviously will let their customers know. So if you're checking this website, you're going to be a little bit ahead of the curve, and you also have tons of resources to go to.
Okay, and that's the main thing, is make sure wherever you're downloading stuff is .gov, sba.gov, right, Jasmine?
Exactly.
Yeah, because if it doesn't have .gov, then you might be clicking on clickbait to try to get your money, right? The stuff on there should be at no cost, right?
Exactly.
So so Jasmine, what would you say? What advice would you give somebody that doesn't have a CPA? They've been doing all the books, because for a lot of years I did all the books. And I would do it at night, and sometimes I would do like 6 months at a time, a year at a time. Like what's like a fast way of getting everything together so that you can submit?
Okay, well, there's a couple of different ways. So if you don't have an accounting system set up, a quick way to go about it is go to the bank that you use for your business, and there's usually a section where you can download transactions. If you go on there and you look at, for example, 2019, download all the transactions from 2019 to date, and then download as an Excel file, then you'll be able to sort everything. You can see the money coming in, money coming out, and you can make kind of like a quick P&L for yourself that doesn't necessarily require the amount of time that it would if you were to put it into your accounting software.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. So now I want to talk about. So this is the thing. So I'm gonna again the if you want to ask some the questions are coming in, and a lot of them are super good. So if you want to ask the questions, make sure you put them in the comments or you text to 949-264-0759. The text is number is up there, and uh, I have a question from Daryl, and he's saying that if you've heard anything about the emergency economic injury grants process, uh, so that is another part of the bill, Daryl. And this is the thing. I don't want to tell you stuff that we're not doing. The emergency grants are kind of widespread depending on if you state that you've been injured. So the short answer is that the information that we need is not fully out yet because the only thing that's been out is the disaster relief and the forgivable loan based on payroll, right? But from what I've seen, there's 7 to 8 different benefits that you can see from the bill that they've passed. So the best way is to make sure that you're talking to your SBA and make sure that they can get you the information on how to apply for those. Like our initial 2 things that we're doing is the SBA disaster relief, and the second one is the forgivable loan for for your payroll, right? So those are the main 2 things. Because what he's asking is they are doing some grants based on different industry and different things. So as soon as we got more info, we'll be looking at it like hawks, and then we'll share whatever we can with you guys. So that's a good question, Daryl. Thank you. Let me see. Jim is asking if we can mail out the forms. Sergio will probably do a recap, and then we'll email the SBA links so that people can do it. And then we're also gonna put this up so that you guys can watch it later as well. So thanks, Jim. Stephanie says, do you think this epidemic will have impact on our domestic labor economy instead of the previous manufacturing outside the country? I'm seeing, so we sell our machines to, companies all over the world in a lot of different industries actually. So we're seeing firsthand from our customers, the main thing is that this pandemic is affecting everything, right? Everything that you knew or every industry is being affected, right? So the short answer is yes, you're gonna see everything affected, especially on the labor side. People are being told not to go to work, right? So they're gonna not be able to make money. That's super important. Everything is being affected from what we're seeing, right?
And if I can interject,
Yeah.
too, on the long term, you can't really know for sure if it could go both ways. We could either go back to business as usual and import goods like we have been, or it might create this fear of getting things manufactured abroad and bring more manufacturing back to the States. So it's one of those things that could go either way. So it's really hard to tell, but it's definitely going to affect it somehow.
Yeah, it totally is, and we've seen it, since the trade wars and stuff like that. It's been shaky. So for example, we make a lot of our manufacturing is now here in California, where we have the machines and the staff and everything making products, because we don't know what's going to happen. Traditionally, our office in Korea is making them, and we're still making them there as well. But you don't know. I've never had Chinese products, but I'm sure it's going to be tough for people to be trusting again, or what the whole economic impact of this whole thing is going to be on that side. So I would expect some turmoil there. So a question that I'm seeing is, do I have to have good credit to get this assistance? So the for the first one, for the disaster relief, they're lowering the credit guidelines. Traditionally, getting an SBA loan is incredibly hard. You have to have good credit, good business. You have to have money in the bank. You basically should not be needing it to be able to get it, right? And now this is a different type of loan, so they're lowering, what the risk, the credit risk is. But yes, you need to have, at least a decent credit, but check on what it is. Last I heard, it was, in the 650s and above. Yeah, you do for the second one, which is the loan for the forgivable one for your payroll. They do not do a credit check on that one according to the bill, right? So if you have any sort of staff, any sort of payroll, they need your average payroll for the last couple months, and this is the one that was just signed into law. And the banks don't have that much information yet, but you need to be communicating with your banks directly right away and letting them know what you're intending to do. Communication and relationship with your banks is something that's super important, especially in these times, right? So make sure that you do that. I've always thought of banking partners as partners in the business. I have great relationships with them. We've been in touch this whole time, just to see what are the best options. You make sure you're reaching out, because they're trying to help. Let me go to the next point. So I wanted to touch on this one because it's super important. If your sales went to zero immediately, what do you do with your staff? What do you do where some of the people have been there for many years? It's the last thing that you want to see, and you want to send people home. That's the last thing you want to do, right? But at the same time, you have to make sure that you're in a position to fight another day. You're in a position to make sure that you can protect your core businesses, which is an outbound business to support your customers, right? So on Friday, I decided to do a furlough of almost half of my staff, and it was one of the most painful things that I've ever had to do. So, but the team is super supportive, because they know it's a temporary thing. But the main thing is communication with your team. Communication that what you're doing, what you're planning for the future, how things are impacting. So make sure that you're having super open communications with your team, and making sure that you're working to get some of this aid right away. And that's why I wanted to hop on this live. I mean, again, I like to do stuff right away. I hopped on this. This is an idea I had yesterday, and we're doing it right now. And it's because if you go through that second process, you go and you call your bank and you say, hey, this is my payroll. This has been my payroll for the last couple months, and they will need proof, by the way. So it can't be like, fake payroll or shady situations, right? So it has to be legit. But the thing is they'll cover, I believe it's 2.5 times your payroll, your average monthly payroll on a loan, that if you keep people on board, then it will be ultimately forgiven, right? So that's the main point of that loan, because for many years, and you guys could can identify with is you're working hard to create the best team, and overnight you can't do that. It takes years. So make sure that you're taking advantage of that help, that bill that was just signed, and so that you can be able to bounce back. Because for the first loan, they want you to bounce back. How are you going to bounce back if you have to let go all your staff, right? So, you know, so that's an important part. Next, what what is your action plan, right? So make sure that you have an action plan 2 weeks out, 4 weeks out, 3 months. What's the rest of 2020 looking like, right? Part of what I'm doing is, my salary and my wife's salary is zero for the whole rest of 2020, to support the business, support my staff, and that's a plan that you have to have in place, and that's the plan, for our salaries for 2020. Your next 2 weeks, what are you going to do? Who are you going to call? How are you going to set up? What happens if it gets tougher, right? What's the next round of hard decisions that you have to make? 4 weeks out, what do you have to do to start bouncing back? What products? What are you going to focus on? All that stuff. Make sure you sit down and go through and start doing that. Protect the core of your business. So that's one of the things that we're doing is all of our number one, all of our marketing, bazookas, all of our cannons, and we have a huge marketing reach. We're diverting it to push out things to help you guys, to help our current customers. We sent out hundreds of thousands of emails today. We sent out 70,000 text messages, and it's to make sure that we can help you guys. So a lot of people aren't going to be buying machines right now, right? So what we could do is the people that we have, help them to push through this, connect with each other, and stabilize their businesses, and so that's the change that I'm doing here with our marketing department. Our technical support, everybody's working from home right now, but luckily all of our systems since the beginning are web-based. We're kind of prepared technically to take everything offline or online, out of the office. So they're still helping people because support's been a big part of our growth and our focus, right? So I'm not changing that right now. This is where you need to talk to your team. Make sure that your top people are on board with what you're doing, and that everybody helps push. We moved to a 7-day-a-week work week, right? Because we know that we have to work harder to push through this. That's one of the changes that we made, right? So the thing is what can your team do? What ideas can your team bring? I'm asking everybody, hey, what's the idea? What ideas do you have so that we can make sure that we push forward, right? So those are some of the things that I wanted to make sure that you guys are starting to do. I have some questions, that are coming in. So one of them is I have insurance. Will the policy cover loss of income due to unusual disaster? My insurance denied my claim, stating it doesn't cover virus or civil action, which is the cause of lost income. So every single policy, guys, out there, I mean, I'm not an insurance person, so make sure you call your insurance broker and all that. But I have had and do have tons of insurance, and continuously pay for insurance every single month, and it hurts. But when you need them, in these kind of pandemics, the reality is nobody is equipped to cover anything like this. So that's why they have those things in place that says, hey, if you have acts of God and those things in there, they're not going to cover it. So I'm sorry to say, you know, if you're better off trying to come up with new ideas than trying to sue your insurer. And you know, it all depends on what your individual policy is and how you can navigate it, of course. But that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one for sure. Uh, let's see. I'll push another one. Another question. Uh, do I do layoffs or do I do furloughs for my employees? Ooh. So uh, two things. So you could do layoffs. Layoffs pretty much like cut everybody out and they go straight into unemployment. They're no longer your employee. That's the main difference. A furlough is a pause. You know, um, a pause for a couple weeks at a time to see how it's going to happen, but they're still your employee and you're still paying their benefits, right? So that's the main difference. HR, that's why I want to bring up HR laws are super tough. You know, we have a HR person here, and it's always a difficult thing. So you have to make sure you navigate stuff legally. You make sure you protect your people. Make sure you protect your how you spring back. If you're doing all these sorts of rash decisions to unload people, but you're doing it in proper ways, then you're going to have consequences later, and you're not going to be able to spring back out of this. You don't want to add labor disputes on top of this chaos, right? So make sure that you're talking to your payroll people, your HR people, and doing stuff the right way. So let me go through a couple of the points that I had, and then I'll answer some more questions. The on Monday, actionable things. On Monday, you want to call your bankers. All right, you want to call your bankers and let them know, hey, I need to apply right away. What do you need from me? What do you know? Some of them are working right now to figure out what they're gonna do. I do know they're gonna have lines, you know, and everybody's gonna be after this starting tomorrow after the relief. So make sure that if you have their text numbers, if you have their phone number, their cell numbers, call them today. You know. See how you can do. I want to talk about a little bit about the spring back and how you push through and some of the stuff that we're doing. So if you're in a creating business, decorating business, how can you do things to put product online fast? You know, so that's going to be something that you have to work through and figure out what we're doing. We're going to be doing some lives and some content on how to create a brand, you know, in a couple days, how to create quickly, how to put it online, how to start being where the shoppers are. So that's something that we're doing, and you know, making sure that we're doing the education out there to help, right? So another question that I want to go over right now. So what do I do? A lot of you guys, if you don't know, we're manufacturers of digital equipment, digital printers for the apparel business, and we have a lot of those customers asking questions. So one of them is, what do I do with my sitting equipment? And this is the thing. Right now, if your shop's closed, you have options. Make sure that you're not leaving your equipment to just sit there and collect dust and dry out. So a lot of people have chemicals, inks, and all that. Make sure that you're in there cleaning your stuff. I asked Edgar, our chemist, hey, what's the fastest we can release our new cleaner and give it out free for everybody? So look on our site for that, or look at your other emails for that. Make sure you take advantage of getting some free cleaner for us. Obviously, I gotta pay for shipping, so you have to pay for shipping and the people to box it up and send it to you. But the cleaner's free. Uh, you know, and that goes along with the spring back. All right, what are you doing to spring back? Well, don't put yourself in a place where you're letting all your equipment die. And then when you do have something to do, an order, you have to pay all this money to get everything back online, right? Uh, that's important, guys. Now let's talk a little bit about your expenses. So right now is the time to do what I call a stop test, right? This is the biggest stop test that you could have done when the economy stops to zero. Stop test just says, hey, if you're wondering if something works or not, just stop it and see how it goes. Right now is the time to stop subscriptions that you're been paying for that you're not even using, unless it's educational and you're in there, growing your mind every single day. Then it's worth it. But cut your expenses, to the minimum, because we don't even know how long this is going to last. Right? Look at every single thing that's going out and the outflow and pause it, unless it's bringing value to your customers. That's what minimizing that is all about. And maybe Jasmine, maybe you can share some of that stuff on what could be minimized and some of the strategies that you're using to kind of help people with that.
Okay, well, before we did the furloughs, we looked heavily at payroll as a whole. So overtime, making sure nobody's taking advantage of overtime accidentally by having a short lunch. So that was a big expense there. That could be anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on how many employees you have, is every minute adds up. We were telling people, if you're done, you need to clock out right at 5 or right when your shift is supposed to end. You don't want any unnecessary overtime, especially with people working from home. There's really no distractions there, business related, that would warrant them to work overtime. So that was a huge opportunity there. We did have a few subscriptions that we let go of. And I think overall for us, what helped us is that we worked hard to be lean up until this point. So when we were looking at things, it really was clear where to cut, and that was on the payroll side. But if you're at the beginning of this and you haven't already...
We lost her.
Lost her.
That need...
Oh.
Sorry, you cut out, Jasmine. Just one. Are you there?
Okay.
All right, there
Yeah,
you go.
can you
Yeah,
hear me?
you're back. Yeah, you're on.
You got me?
Yeah, you're back in.
Okay, excellent, thank you. So you want to look at what are you selling that maybe isn't actually making you money. So what we did a long time ago was look at items that we might have been reselling that the margin was really low. And then when you take into account shipping costs and labor costs, then you're actually losing money on those items. So it's really looking at what you're selling as well as the money coming out, because you could be thinking that you're making money, but in reality, you're spending so much time making a certain order that you're losing money on that order.
Yeah. So then that's super important because we've been I don't know, since November I've kind of felt like we've been, even since last year, we've been pushing hard to focus on our main thing and focus on the team and lean out wherever we can. I knew there's a contraction in the economy coming. That I knew, but not a destruction like this. Nobody really knew this one. Which nobody can really prepare for. So we've prepared as much as possible to weather storms, but this is a storm that's really difficult to weather for any business. Like I told you earlier, our business in a week went down 40%. Marriott's went down 80% worldwide, plus, right? So big companies are suffering, and big companies are having issues. So don't be don't feel bad. It's not your fault. But this is worldwide for all companies, right? So this is not something that you need to feel bad about. This is a time to act, skip all those feelings in between, and try to act and do better for your spring back, for your comeback, for you to come back from this, right? Uh, so kill all the subscriptions. If you're spending and have been spending on overtime, that's not a lot of people, all their staff is gone, so that's not a big deal anymore. If you're
And then another
yeah,
thing too that you mentioned was focus.
yeah.
So focus on what your company does well and cut out the things that maybe were just pet projects or that you were really attached to that aren't making you the margins that other items are making you. So it's really time for you to focus in on your business and see what do we do well, what can we manage to lose and be perfectly fine, and where should we put our energy to make the most impact.
Exactly. And one thing too that I want to make sure you guys do is, be in touch with your customers. Call them. Another pivot that we did. All of our sales team is focused and is in the direction of calling our existing customers and seeing how we can help. How you doing? And that's what you can do. Call your customers, see how they're doing, see how they're navigating, and see what needs are there that you could fill. We're working hard right now to make sure that we fill needs that we've been seeing from our customers. And just like you, it's difficult with half of the staff. It's difficult with people working from home and all that stuff, right? So make sure that you're in that plan. And let me know if you get questions, Sergio, from YouTube. I'm fielding the ones from the text messages. So if you're texting me right here. So you could text me later. I'll help you with your questions. You could text me now, and I'll do them live. But yeah, that's the number up there if you want to text me directly.
I did have one question that came through on Facebook.
Yeah.
Ronnie Forth asked, I just started and the staff is looking for their pay, but they never got a check yet. Is there any resources you can use that can help them with that at the moment?
Yeah, so if that's a good question. So he's saying that he's a startup. He just started. It was his first round of paying people, and now you can't pay, right? So the main thing is, I hope you have them on payroll, and make sure that you call your bank right away and say, hey, I have these people. This is the average of what they're making per month. It's the first cycle, and see if they could fast track a loan for you. But communication is key with your employees, right? If you're just not communicating and the checks are not coming, then they don't know why. They don't know why. Typically, people want to make sure that they're going to be taken care of. So you have to make these tough decisions, as soon as possible, right? Don't wait. Don't wait to be in a situation where everybody's pissed off at you. It's better to say, hey, you know what? For the next 2 weeks, for the next month, you guys stay home. We'll see how it goes after, instead of having them work and then not pay them, right? So just communicate, talk to your banks, try to save in other areas, and that'll really help you out with that. So that's a super question. So because people are if your income becomes zero, how are you going to pay your staff, right? And sometimes it's hard to understand, especially as a business owner. People think that you have unlimited bags of money, and the reality is you take a lot of risks, and you do a lot of things to protect your people. You go without pay. You do a lot of stuff, but nobody really notices until something like this happens, right? So make sure you communicate. Let's see. Another one. What do I do with my mortgages in my rent? Do I just stop paying them? There's a lot of hype around this, guys, all over the place. A lot of people in the news saying, just stop. But this is the thing: you have to make sure that you communicate with your landlord, that you communicate with your bank that holds your note for your mortgages, and call them and say, hey, look, this is the crazy situation, and all of the banks have processes now to essentially pause your mortgages if you own, and you have to call the landlords to see what you can work out if you rent, right? So, Jasmine, maybe you can kind of go through that a little bit and help people that are navigating a lot of mortgages and stuff like that.
Yeah, so when it comes to mortgages, that's where the banks have been acting really quickly. That deferment process, at least for the banks that we use, it's been pretty simple. You just tell them that you're interested in moving forward with the deferment. Some of them handle it differently. Some of them might put that payment at the back end. Other ones, you're expected to pay it back in the course of a certain amount of time. So then once you're better and able to pay, your payments are just going to be a little bit higher for a while. So it's really important for you to call and reach out to your bank. For those, you just need to prove that this virus has affected your business and your ability to pay. So they really don't want anybody who's doing well and just taking advantage of the situation. They really want to know that you've been affected. But those deferment processes have been a lot easier than, say, the loan applications. So it's really a matter of just reaching out to your banker and getting in touch with them, and then they're all being really helpful right now. So they're going to do whatever they can to help you out.
Yeah, yeah. So that's super important. So do not just stop paying. That will kill your credit long term. Make sure that you're going through the proper process to pause the payments, to pause the mortgages and defer them to later. If you don't, it's just going to be a missed payment. So that's a super question. I'm glad you brought it up. All right, so I have another one from Colorborn Printing. I'm new in the business and I don't have revenue. It's a family business. And see, there's no income taxes for 2019. I was doing business under another name in 2018. Would it be, what could I get the disaster relief loan with this information? You gotta make sure you call your local SBA. But from what I know, they're taking 2018 and 2019 taxes into consideration. So just make sure that you can prove or attest that you've been damaged by this situation. Get in your documents right away for your company, and submit the first two forms, because then they're going to ask you more, right? So the main thing, guys, is to get in line. Get in line, because if you're just waiting, they're even saying that these funds are going to run out. So I don't know how true that is, but I'm sure there's a lot of people lining up, it's not going to be an easy situation. It might take 4 weeks. They said it was going to be 15 days at the beginning. Now they're saying 4 weeks. And the reality is they don't really have the staff to handle this much volume.
Another question coming here from Merrill. She's asking, does she know if the SBA loans need to be facilitated through our bank, or do I need to set up a meeting with my bank?
For the SBA, maybe Jasmine, you can answer that one.
Yes, with that, you're dealing with the SBA directly. When it comes to any loans related to the bill that just passed, those you will be working with a banker. But with this disaster loan, you can go sba.gov. If you select that loan, there's actually a way to apply online as well. So you don't have to necessarily use anybody, but you can definitely get assistance from your SBA professional in your area. But you don't need to go through a banker with the SBA disaster loan.
Yeah, so that's for the first one. So disaster loan is on the SBA's website. You go there, and you submit all the information. You create a login. Traditionally, it did go through banks, right? So that's why it's a good question. Uh, Now that particular one is straight in. So set up your profile, get those two main documents in. They're gonna ask you for the rest, and get in line for that one. The second one, that's for the forgivable loan. That one, they're trying to get the money for people's payroll as fast as possible. So they're using the bank network for that. So make sure you call your banker and you say, hey, once you know more information, make sure you have the application ready, because I need it. I have this much payroll, this is my average, and that one does not require a credit check, and it only requires that you have legit payroll, right? And sometimes I know how I started. Sometimes that's hard to prove, right? So, but for over 10 years, we've had big legit payroll. That means that you have to be able to prove that. That way they know what averages to take and what the loan's going to look like, right? So, and again, no credit check for that one.
And then as far as the SBA loan goes, if you go on their website, there is actually an area where you can get local assistance. So if you put in your zip code, it will tell you who's nearby that you can call for legitimate help. So they will let you know who is a legitimate source for help. So even though you don't have to go through a banker, if you still need to make sure that you're filling out the forms correctly or you have questions, they will list who you can go to in your area for help.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, I think there's a comment from Jim. Let's see. Thank you for putting on all these live feeds and Q&As. I purchased my printer in October of 2019 from you guys. I made the right decision with you as a partner. The printer is great too. Jim Wagner. Thank you, Jim. That's like a shameless plug, but I'm glad it came from you though. Jim Wagner Designs.com. No, JimWagnerSigns.com. All right. If you need a sign, Jim at JimWagnerSigns.com. Thank you, Jim. See, that's my main thing, guys, is to help you guys through all this drama, and whatever I could do, I'm gonna do. All right, and those of you guys that are unsubscribing to my 65,000 text messages, I got you. You're unsubscribed. Let's see here. I got a comment here. In addition to printing, my main business is brand design and web design development. There might be some creative ways I can work with you guys and your customers to get folks online with websites. Matt, I'll email you. But yeah, the main thing, guys, is that how do you pivot and put a product up right away? And that's why I wanted to do something like, for example, we created a brand in less than a week that we're gonna launch tomorrow or the next couple days, to show you guys how to do it, and we're recording the process to try to make it as easy as possible. But it's called the lockdown connection, right? Streetwear to homeware, and that's the thing. How do you pivot to doing something to help people out and get online and put products in front of somebody to kind of help you through this process, right? So Matt, we'll be in touch so that see what your service, what you do. If you can help the community, text message me. The text number's up there. We could work something out. All right. All right. Let me see. Just choosing. Let me know if you have a question, Sergio, while I browse all the text messages. I'm getting a lot of text messages here, so.
I had one that came in from Annabelle asking, are there any programs to lease the equipment?
Yeah, actually, Annabelle, there a lot of we partner with some of the biggest banks like CIT Bank for our equipment for leasing. Two main things with that they're doing if like right now is really the best time to get into business and start working from home and take control of your income and do something where you can do print on demand for people and then ship them to their doorstep. Uh, but how do you navigate these uncertain times? So a lot of the banks are doing deferred lease programs where you get your equipment, but you don't start paying until 90 days, some time in the future, so that you can get going and you don't have payments till then. Um, you know, if you have payments, right now, the one of the reasons why we have good relationships with or we use credible and good lenders is that they're make sure that you give them a call if you have one of our machines or even any machine, give your lender a call and let them know what programs they have to pause your payments for a little bit to help you during this process, right? That's super important. And that Annabelle brought that to my attention, so I can share it with you guys. All right, that's the super question. So yeah, text me right here, Annabelle, and I'll put you in touch with somebody that could help you through that process.
We had a comment come in from Rocky Marziano. This is the only reason I work with Omni. These nuggets of information are money.
I love it. Thank you for that. Let's see. Make sure you guys are sending me your name with your text messages. That way, I can make sure I point you in the right direction, and your email too. That'd be awesome. That way, I can give you in the right direction on what to do. This person. Steve. He just bought a printer. I need to get my website up and operational as soon as possible. Steve, send me your email address, and then I'll work with you. This is one of the things that I'm really super open-minded right now, and the main goal is how do I help you guys? We have technology that we've been working on for a long time. That is front end web stores for people tied in to your products, that you can do live shops, stuff like that. And what I'm thinking is how do we use our technology to help you guys right now? And I'm working super hard to make sure that we have stuff available for you guys, even if we have to do it free right now for whatever period. So make sure you text me, email me. If you want us to help you set up an online front-end store to sell products, reach out and we'll help you do that. We'll connect you to designers. We'll connect you to our platform to be able to do it. And that's one of the main reasons why I asked our team, hey, let's create a brand in a week so that I could show you guys how you could do it, how we did it, and how you can start making some money and keeping your equipment going from home. So that's one of the things that we can do to help you guys, along with navigating some of this financial stuff. We have a big manufacturing facility. We have a lot of technology to help you guys. We have a whole bunch of machines in our fulfillment center, demo room that we use, that we could help you produce your products. Whatever, just text me and email me, and then I'll make sure that we help you do whatever you need to do. So thank you, Stephen, for that, and we'll be reaching out soon.
Another question that came through from Facebook from Eddie Hall. He's asking, can we trial work at this time for no cost for now?
Eddie, text message me and email me. Yeah, so I'm gonna work with you guys right now. If you guys need a live store to use our work front end software, just email me. I'm gonna let you guys use it for free and put up a store up there and start making some money. You will need to make sure you have set up some sort of payment account through PayPal so that you can connect it and start receiving payments right away. That's pretty much the main requirement to charge people, is to have that set up. But yeah, text me or email me vpena@omniprintonline.com, and I'll help you through that. That's a great way to get free stuff. Thanks, Eddie. Jay Lewis, looking at your live now. Great work, guys. Love it. From Easy Prints 473. Thank you. Appreciate it. Milson, who's this? This is Omniprint. Text us back. Keep the text coming. All right, I will. You said it. Jasmine, what other stuff can you share with people to help them with their financial life?
Well, right now, I think just the main thing is to focus on being organized. Make sure you're communicating with your team. Make sure that the people on board can wear multiple hats and provide some good ideas for you, either to cut expenses or generate more revenue. So now's the time to come together. So don't be afraid to ask your employees who are on the front lines of what you could do to get through this time.
Yep. You know, honestly, guys, like all of my main thing. This is the first time I actually had to be furlough anybody. We have a huge team. We have a lot of smart, caring people. A lot of people are wanting to even work for free. And this is the thing. Your team is the most valuable asset. So ask them, hey, what do you guys think we can do in the immediate time to make sure that we all weather this together, right? For example, for our work, our workflow system, our live stores, we have 8 programmers there, that are on staff, and I asked them, hey, what can you guys build in a week that can help people out there? And what that does is it kind of diverts the attention to the process of doing things, and instead of going straight into action. I told you guys for the last few weeks, one of the main things I'm doing is just going straight into action, and that's how I'm doing it. I'm staying off of email, I'm calling, I'm doing, everything is like super fast. I asked the team last night, hey, we need to make some masks so that people can have blank masks to print on. Can I have a prototype tomorrow? And it's like Sunday, right? And those are the kind of things that in your business, whatever it is, you're going to have to skip the riffraff now. You're going to have to go straight into action, straight into creating, straight into doing things, and making sure that you're providing value to your customers and to your own team, and helping them see this whole situation through and see their families through, right? And do it together as a team. You have no idea how many good ideas come from your team. And it took me some time to make sure to realize that all the great ideas are not mine. They're actually the team's. So this is one thing that you have to realize. Another question is, can I get some full videos of training about your software soon? Yes, you can. Actually, you know what? This is the best time to get educational stuff. Train. If you have our products, make sure you reach out to your trainers and go through stuff. There's one of the people that are still working from home. They're training people. Reach out to us. With whatever you need. We have a library of videos that we can share with you. No problem. And let's see. Hi Edwin. It's hard to get a printer lease with this pandemic. I've been wanting to get one for months from you guys. feel the way. Let's see. You want to grow your retail business. The next level. Yeah, I know Edwin. So uh, this is the main thing. It's super tough for the banks because they have to be super stable right now. So new leases and equipment is going to be tougher if you have challenged credit or if you don't have a relationship or you just uh, so make sure that you reach out and see how we could help you. uh, if you know somebody with great credit, maybe that's a way to go. But yeah, that's I get it. The thing is with a lot of banks pausing payments for everybody, their cash flow is also tight, right? So they're gonna want to approve people that they know that they could pay right away, and they're not gonna need to pause. So uh, it's temporary, guys. It's temporary. Just make sure that you use this time. If you're not gonna, maybe if you can't get equipment right now, uh, you know, build your store, start selling stuff, and then have somebody else fulfill it until you could get your equipment, right? Uh, Give us, email us, text us, and then we'll push you to the right place where you can get your stuff fulfilled by people in our network that can help you get your business going. So that might be a way to go if you're having a hard time, qualifying for and getting a lease. So. We've been at it for some time. Keep sending me your questions. Email me, text me. I'm gonna wrap up this live now by saying the main thing is you have to keep positive here and make sure that you keep figuring out how you can push through and think about the other side and think about the exit and how your business, your family, your people can spring through. And really bounce back. This is temporary. We don't know how long, but this is temporary. So make sure that you're positioning yourself and you're doing the things to make sure that you're pushing forward in a positive way, and you're putting your attention to learning, growing. Feel free to reach out. We'll be doing some more stuff. Ask me questions on what you need me to do lives on. I've been doing business for a very, very long time, and I've navigated a lot of these different things, and I could help you guys do it. So thank you so much, guys. Have a great Sunday, and then we'll be in touch with you guys soon. Have a great day. Let's go.